The Mongol Empire, from Genghis Khan to the conquest of half the world. Imagine a world where a nomadic tribe from the windswept steppes of Central Asia rose to dominate vast territories, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. Within a single century, the Mongols transformed from scattered clans into the architects of the largest contiguous empire in human history. But how did a group of horse-riding warriors manage to conquer half the known world? And what legacy did they leave behind? Let's embark on a journey through time to uncover the story of the Mongol Empire, from its humble beginnings under Genghis Khan to its sprawling dominion across continents. Chapter 1. The Birth of a Leader. In the vast, untamed steppes of Mongolia, under the endless blue sky, a child named Temujin was born in the year 1162. His birth was marked by hardship and struggle, a prelude to the life he would lead. Temujin's father, Yasuge, was a minor chieftain of the Borjigin clan, but his sudden poisoning by a rival tribe left the family destitute. Abandoned by their own people, Temujin, his mother Holin, and his siblings were left to fend for themselves, surviving on wild roots and small game. The nomadic way of life, harsh yet free, defined their existence, but even more so, it instilled in Temujin a deep desire to rise above his circumstances, shaping the leader he would become. As the years passed, Temujin's early life was a crucible of adversity. At the age of 9, he was separated from his mother and sent to live with a friend of his father's. However, his journey took a dark turn when he was captured by the Teocheud, a rival tribe, and enslaved, with a wooden collar locked around his neck to prevent escape. This cruel treatment could have broken him, but instead, it ignited the fire of resilience within him. Over time, Temujin's intelligence and resourcefulness began to shine. He escaped from his captors, a feat few could have managed, and slowly began to gather followers from the nomadic tribes, offering loyalty, respect, and the promise of a better future for those who would join him. By 1206, Temujin had consolidated his power, attracting a following that was diverse and loyal. His ability to unite Mongol clans, often divided by centuries of feuding and bloodshed, was unmatched. In a grand Kurultai, or tribal assembly, held in the heart of the Mongolian steppe, Temujin was proclaimed Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. This title was not just symbolic, it marked the beginning of a transformative era in world history. The Mongols, once fractured and disparate, were now united under a single banner, setting the stage for an empire that would stretch across continents, reshaping the course of human civilization forever. The significance of this moment cannot be overstated. As Genghis Khan, Temujin was not just a tribal leader but a visionary who recognized that in order to conquer and rule such a vast expanse, he would need a new approach to governance and warfare. He implemented a meritocratic system, rewarding loyalty and skill over bloodlines, which allowed common men to rise to positions of power. His military strategies, often ruthless but highly effective, focused on speed, surprise, and discipline. Under his leadership, the Mongol Empire began to expand, forging a path of conquest that would ultimately span from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe, transforming the world into an interconnected web of trade, culture, and power. Chapter 2. The Art of War. Genghis Khan's brilliance as a military strategist was far ahead of his time, and his methods transformed the landscape of warfare. The Mongol army, with its deep sense of discipline and extraordinary mobility, was an unstoppable force. Their strength was in their speed. Mounted on sturdy Mongolian horses, the cavalry could traverse up to 100 miles a day. This remarkable endurance was crucial for swift assaults and quick retreats. Each soldier often had several horses, allowing them to continuously rotate mounts, ensuring that they never lost momentum. The army's ability to outpace and outmaneuver any opponent was unparalleled. However, what truly set Genghis Khan apart was his innovative approach to psychological warfare. He mastered the art of using fear as a weapon, understanding that the mental state of his enemies was just as important as their physical defenses. Cities that dared to resist Mongol rule faced horrific consequences. Entire populations were wiped out, their cities left in ruins, serving as grim reminders to others. On the other hand, those who surrendered often found themselves spared, sometimes even joining the Mongol ranks. The Mongols' reputation for ruthlessness and mercy in equal measure spread like wildfire, making their opponents too terrified to resist. The Mongols were also pioneers in adapting foreign technologies to enhance their military power. Though they had their own battle tactics, they were quick to absorb the advancements of others, particularly the Chinese. Among the most notable innovations they adopted was gunpowder, which they were among the first to use outside of China. The Mongol army incorporated Chinese siege weapons, such as catapults, into their arsenal. These weapons, along with early grenades, proved devastating in battle, especially during the Mongols' sieges of fortified cities. The Mongols' mastery of both strategy and technology allowed them to conquer vast territories with astonishing efficiency. From the expansive steppes of Mongolia to the gates of Europe, their reach was vast and unyielding. By incorporating the latest military technologies and continuously evolving their strategies, Genghis Khan built one of the largest empires in history. His legacy as a military innovator and tactician continues to shape modern warfare studies even today. Chapter 3: The Conquest of China. The Mongol conquest of China was a sweeping, colossal campaign that would forever change the landscape of the East. At the forefront of this campaign was Genghis Khan, whose strategic brilliance and ferocity made him one of history's most formidable conquerors. His first target was the Jin dynasty, which ruled over northern China. In the year 1211, Genghis Khan unleashed his armies, using his tried-and-true cavalry tactics, fast-moving, devastating raids, while also integrating advanced siege warfare techniques that were new to the Mongols. The Mongols, with their expert archers and mobile forces, launched relentless assaults against fortified cities, adapting and overcoming any resistance they met. By the year 1215, the Mongol forces achieved a crucial victory with the fall of Zhongdu, the capital of the Jin dynasty, which would later become modern-day Beijing. This victory marked a turning point, signaling the Mongols' ability to challenge even the most fortified cities in the world. The city's walls, once thought impregnable, crumbled under the combined might of Mongol siege tactics and the overwhelming numbers of their cavalry. The Jin dynasty, already weakened by internal strife and external invasions, could not withstand the Mongol onslaught and soon fell into disarray. Yet, Genghis Khan's death in 1227 did not mark the end of the Mongol ambition in China. His vision was continued by his sons and grandsons, with the conquest of China fully realized by his grandson, Kublai Khan. Kublai Khan's rise to power marked a new era for China, as he sought to integrate Mongol rule with Chinese traditions. In 1271, Kublai founded the Yuan dynasty, establishing himself as the first non-Han emperor to rule over all of China. This was no simple military victory, as Kublai demonstrated a keen understanding of governance, promoting trade, cultural exchange, and the flourishing of the arts. Kublai Khan's reign was also marked by the arrival of the famous Venetian explorer Marco Polo, who visited his court in the late 13th century. Polo's accounts of his time in the Mongol Empire were instrumental in introducing Europe to the rich cultures and remarkable innovations of the East. Through Polo's writings, many Europeans were first introduced to the wonders of Chinese cities, the vastness of Mongol territories, and the grandeur of Kublai Khan's court, which seemed almost otherworldly to the European mind. Kublai's court, with its opulence and cultural vibrancy, became a symbol of Mongol success in integrating diverse cultures, and under his rule, China thrived as a center of trade and innovation. Chapter 4: The March Westward. While Genghis Khan's attention remained fixed on the east, the vast empire he built was rapidly expanding under the guidance of his trusted generals. The Mongols, driven by a fierce sense of destiny, surged across Central Asia like an unstoppable force. Their conquest of the Khwarezmian Empire was swift and brutal, a response to the Khwarezm Shah's catastrophic mistake of executing a Mongol trade envoy. This treacherous act, seen as a grievous insult, sealed the fate of the Khwarezmian Empire. The Mongols responded with unmatched wrath, obliterating entire cities, and sending shockwaves throughout the region. By the year 1241, the Mongols had crossed the Caspian Sea and stood on the very doorstep of Europe, their eyes set on the rich and unguarded lands to the west. The Mongol horde, now under the command of Batu Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson, and the brilliant strategist Subutai, began their devastating campaign in Eastern Europe. Their first target was the vast expanse of Russia. The Mongols swept through the region like a storm, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Russian principalities, divided and weakened by infighting, were no match for the Mongol war machine. The Mongol cavalry, famous for its speed and discipline, overwhelmed the Russians in a series of bloody battles, with cities like Kiev being reduced to rubble. As the Mongol advance continued, they set their sights on Poland and Hungary. In 1241, the Battle of Legnica in Poland became one of the most significant clashes between the Mongols and European knights. The European knights, clad in heavy armor, were no match for the agile and expertly coordinated Mongol cavalry. The Mongols, using their signature tactics of feigned retreats, lured the knights into a trap, and when the Europeans pursued, they were ambushed and decisively defeated. The Mongols' mastery of psychological warfare and their ability to strike quickly and decisively made them nearly unstoppable. The Mongol cavalry's skill and cunning in battle stunned Europe and left many to wonder if their lands were next to fall. However, just as it seemed Europe was on the brink of total conquest, fate intervened. The death of the great Khan Ogedei in 1241 marked a pivotal moment in Mongol history. The death of the Khan triggered a call for all Mongol princes to return home to participate in the election of a new leader. This unexpected turn of events forced the Mongol army to retreat from Europe, sparing the continent from total devastation. The Mongols would return, but for the time being, Western Europe had been spared from complete Mongol domination, and the door was left open for a long and bloody struggle for the future of the region. Chapter 5. The Pax Mongolica. At the height of the Mongol Empire, a remarkable era of peace and prosperity unfolded across Eurasia. From the Sea of Japan to Hungary, the Pax Mongolica, or Mongol peace, spanned the 13th and 14th centuries. This period of stability allowed for unprecedented connections across the vast empire, uniting people from different cultures and backgrounds. Cities and trade routes flourished, creating a new sense of unity. The Mongols secured the Silk Road, ensuring safe passage for traders, travelers, and diplomats. For the first time, goods, ideas, and cultures flowed freely from east to west. Spices from India, silk from China, and technologies like papermaking spread across continents. This open exchange sparked a cultural and intellectual revival that impacted generations to come. However, the very trade routes that brought prosperity also facilitated the spread of disease. The Black Death, which devastated Europe in the 14th century, traveled along these routes, carried by fleas on rats. While the Mongols helped connect the world, the pandemic was an unintended consequence of their efforts to unify distant lands. The Pax Mongolica left a lasting legacy. It not only reshaped the medieval world but also paved the way for the Renaissance in Europe, marking a period when the world felt smaller and more interconnected. Chapter 6. The Legacy of the Mongol Empire. Despite its might, the Mongol Empire was not destined to last forever. Internal strife, succession disputes, and the sheer difficulty of managing such a vast territory led to its fragmentation. By the late 14th century, the empire had splintered into several khanates, including the Golden Horde in Russia, the Ilkhanate in Persia, and the Yuan dynasty in China. Yet, the Mongol legacy endures. They reshaped the world in ways that are still felt today. Their conquests facilitated cultural and technological exchanges that bridged the gap between East and West. Even the postal system, with relay stations and couriers, was a Mongol innovation that influenced future communication networks. Perhaps most intriguingly, DNA studies have revealed that a significant number of men across Eurasia share a common ancestor linked to Genghis Khan, highlighting his extensive lineage. It's estimated that about 16 million men today carry his genetic legacy. The story of the Mongol Empire is one of resilience, innovation, and transformation. From the windswept steppes of Mongolia to the grand palaces of China and the bustling markets of Persia, the Mongols left an indelible mark on history. Their empire may have faded, but their influence echoes through time, reminding us of a period when the world was united under the banner of the Great Khan. And that's it, thanks for watching. If you enjoy exploring historical worlds, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more exciting stories.